Okay, so here's the story. I'm in Atlanta right now. I'm about to take delivery or swap my 991.1 GT3 RS for a 991.2 GT3 RS, and I couldn't make this up if I tried. So today's Tuesday. On Sunday, I decided, let me just look and see what .2 GT3 RSs are for sale. And my buddy John and I are sitting there looking up different cars, and I found a bunch of white ones that were exactly spec, or pretty close to spec the way I wanted. And so I was just kind of joking. He said, you'll have one inside of a week. I said, nah, I'm just looking. So I'm driving down from Atlanta. I call this place Gas Motor Cars. It's in Marietta, Georgia. I was dropping my car off at my friend Dave's house in Alpharetta so that the guys could come pick up my car today, which was supposed to be today, and bring my GT3 RS, my .1 home. Well, since I'm dropping my car off in Alpharetta, I've got hours to kill. I was going to go to the Porsche delivery center and just hang out for an hour to kill some time. I'm like, let me just go look at this car that I saw that's in Marietta. And sure enough, I get here and I bought it yesterday. So I changed my flight to today, to this afternoon, and so what we're going to do is shoot a video of me taking delivery of the car, talk about the differences between a .1 and a .2 and why we're doing it, and yeah, this is happening. So I got a .2 RS, which will be picked up at 1 p.m. by my guy Bubba, who comes and ships my car back and forth. So rather than him picking up in Alpharetta, he's picking up in Marietta, and rather than picking up my .1, he's picking up now my .2. So I traded the car. All right, so here's so Tony's the owner, so he knows all the guys that I know, all the GT Smokies guys. So I've been hanging out in here, setting up shop, getting my facts straight on .1 versus .2, and then they got all kinds of cool cars in here. They have an '84 Carrera that I want. Here's my car. These are all their inventory cars. I really dig the GTS. Good old Z06, good old America. We got a Defender, I think it's an Icon Defender. And then here's the really clean E39 5, and then here's the 84 Carrera S, I think. This would be perfect for a gut and rebuild. It'd be a bit blasphemy though, if this car is really clean. Okay, so what I want to do, I did this on I think my Ford Raptor, where I show the numbers. Yeah. And you were kind enough to, you guys, I didn't even ask, you're transparent to begin with. I know all the details of this car, what you paid for it, all the deal. So we're going to go through all the paperwork, sign this. I'll share the numbers of what I'm financing, what I put down, what we sold the other car for, and all that stuff. Perfect. So this car sticker was $238 and change. $238 and change. I'm buying it for $219.9-ish, right? My car, Stinger, I'm selling for $155. That's just what they're worth. It's probably worth 10 grand more than that. Is it what you're gonna probably try to sell it for, something hopefully, like that? Yeah, or 10 grand less, depending on depending on what the stock market does this week and next week. So I feel good that I feel bad that I've lost 75 G's because I paid 10 over for mine, of course, and so I think I owed 137. I always keep a note on my GT3. It's the only car I keep financed because it's a bunch of cash, and I make a bunch of money on that cash. It's not a accelerated depreciating type of car. It's if you're gonna and buy something that's two things, rare and desirable. It's both. It's gonna hold its value. Yeah, so it makes perfect sense to finance. In 2 years, I lost 30% of the value. Which happens if you time it improperly, like I always do. And so I think total was the total difference was 206. I put 56 down, so I have a $150,000 note at 3.85.
Yeah, you can.
So
Yeah, you can earn more than that with that money someplace else.
And then those have normal factory warranty. The car has 1,300 miles on it, and it's built to my spec. So let's do our paperwork.
All right, so it's pretty straightforward. Bill of sale here shows your sales price.
Yep. 219.5.
219.
Sales tax, which will be 6%.
Correct, in Florida.
We're going to get a credit for the difference.
You will get a trade credit in Florida.
Yep.
And then you've got basically your total amount due in the bottom there, which you put via wire down payment, which we have already received.
Okay, good.
And then the loan documents we'll sign last year shows your rate and the term.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know. So if you're going to finance a car, I don't even know what the payment is. I don't care. I shouldn't care. The payment shouldn't, in my opinion, shouldn't dictate whether I own the car or not. Because if I'm going to be factoring the payment into my monthly lifestyle, then I shouldn't be financing it. I'm financing it because I can earn a lot more than the 3.85% it's going to cost me on that 150 grand.
It's easy math.
The payments can be 2,100 or something like that, roughly. And you know, I'll probably have this car for 2 years, like I always do, or less.
You'll be fine with this car.
Yeah. All right, let me sign some stuff.
Rock it out.
Right, so there's all our
numbers.
numbers.
You're going to initial both sides. There's duplicates of everything, right?
Yeah.
So we have two pieces.
One for me,
You'll
one
leave
for
an
you.
original, one that stays here.
Yep.
So you have initial there, and then sign date.
And
You are going to go register it yourself. We're going to give you all the documents that you need.
Okay,
I
got it.
can hire a third party
I'll just go ahead.
tag and title service in Florida. Florida is one of the states that actually allows us to do that. There's some states where we can't. But if you want to do it
I want
yourself,
to transfer my tag anyway, so it'd be easier for me to just go and do it.
Exactly.
But you're going to send the sales tax there. I'll just have to pay for the tag.
Correct. We'll actually send a check made out to your county.
Because you have to collect sales tax in Georgia. You don't have a choice.
I'm not collecting Georgia sales tax, but because you financed it, we're going to collect your Florida. I believe we're collecting your Florida sales tax. Yeah, and then we'll just send a check made out to your county.
Got it. And so then I'll go register the car. I'll have documentation that shows the check is coming from you.
You'll bring the check with you. No. We're going to send the check with the title to you.
Got it.
So you walk in, it's one-stop shop. You'll be hopefully in and out in 15 minutes.
Got it.
So you walk in, you want anything else. All right, sign here where it says signature of applicant. This is your Florida state title application, or state of Florida title application.
Does Northwest Bank, am I going to hold the title, or do they hold
Northwest Bank will hold the title.
Okay. So you're going to send the title to them?
Correct. Same thing here, signature of applicant.
So my title you'll get from SunTrust
From your
or U.S. Bank.
Correct. Okay, this is a tax exemption. I'm not collecting Georgia tax. You're basically agreeing that you're taking the car out of the state of Florida immediately. All right, so that's all done. Now this is for the trade-in itself. It's just a separate bill of sale that we're purchasing the vehicle from you for $155,000. That was what your payoff. That's your net equity in the car.
Yep, and that went back to my retail agreement. Yep.
Sign. Who do you use for insurance?
Chubb.
Yeah, good. They don't argue.
I do stated
When you wreck an exotic, they don't tend to argue. That's just your payoff there. Okay, this is a secure power of attorney, so you don't have to come back here to sign the title for your 2016 GT3 RS when it gets here. So you are seller transfer signature there next to where it's dated. No, don't need that, and we don't need that. So you're done.
Yeah,
Have you ever done paperwork that quickly?
a few times, but I'm usually
try to make it easy.
Yeah, I usually have it all
painless and easy.
All worked out. Sweet. So that's the paperwork process. All right. New car, old car. I don't know if some of you are going to be hacked off. Why don't you get the same color? Because this is the color. This is what I want. So what I want to do is talk you through why, because that was another question. Why in the world would you buy a .2? It's the same car. It's completely different. I mean, let me rephrase. It's not completely different, but there's a lot of differences between the two cars where it was worth the change for me. So my .1, dialed in, set up, very similar. Notice the front bumper's different on the two cars. So they made some pretty significant improvements in that this air blade here is functional. Same thing with the redesigned plastic lip. This one also tends to rub a little bit less, so you tend to hit less. But the front bumper's different. The NACA ducts are functional, so they provide aero. They provide downforce. They provide cooling to the brakes. And there's another function of that, I forget what they do. And then you have the fender vents, which I actually like the look of this better, but these provide more downforce. So you can see on the .2, the fender vents stick out. So they stick out a bit more. The wheels are different. The wheels are, I think they're like 200 grams lighter or something like that. Same style, you wouldn't know the difference really, same style other than the GT3 RS, and notice it's rounded on the edge, which I think is where they get some of the lighter weight. But the wheels look similar. I'm not a green stripe guy, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that, but that's what the car comes with. I don't know what the deal is with dudes in green and yellow, but luckily this car does have green inside, but it doesn't have yellow seatbelts like a lot of people spec. Brakes are the same brakes. Where they really make a significant difference in the front end is the sway bars are different. So the sway bars are softer, but the spring rate is double. I think these are like 45 Newton meters and these are nearly 100. I think they're 90 or so in the front. So they stiffen the spring, but soften the sway bar, which is much more, I think that's what they do generally in race cars. Stiff springs, soft sway bar. So the front end aesthetically is different, but there is more underneath that makes the car handled significantly differently than the .1. Tire sizes are the same. Unfortunately, this one has Dunlops. You have hit or miss. I've seen some of the new cars actually come with Eagle F1s. I've seen a few of them. I didn't even know Eagle still made those things. So this car, so the .2 I just bought is a Weissach package, even though you see the hood is painted. So both are carbon fiber in the .1, carbon fiber in the .2, but this in Weissach is an option to paint, which is exactly how I would have done it. And I know people were complaining, you should have this if you have Weissach. I like the fact that it's painted. I think it looks better that way. I'm excited and that's one of the main drivers of why I bought this particular car. Both cars have PDLS, so the headlights are the same. One difference on the .2, if you wanted to take the headlights out, you have to take the front bumper off. On the .1, you could pop the headlights off and no big deal. This car looks to have Expelled on it, which I'll probably yank off. Mine has SunTech. I'll probably take all the PPF off, paint correct it. I'll take the sticker off, which I know people get angry about that. I'll take the sticker off just like I did in the .1. And we'll paint correct and then re-PPF the car. So working with that, the Weissach package has carbon fiber mirror caps versus obviously it doesn't have carbon fiber mirror caps here. The normal .2 has the same roof, has magnesium roof, but the .2 Weissach has carbon fiber, which I think it's actually a little heavier than the magnesium. I don't remember, but I think it's stiffer. It's in the same ballpark weight-wise. And then the air intakes are different. I'm pretty sure that these fit, so I think you can take a .1 because I don't like this plastic business here. I also don't like that. This is the only thing on the car that I wouldn't have spec'd, and that's black door handles, but that's an easy change if I decide to do that. This is actually, from what I understand, this is functional. So the larger inlet size actually creates a bit more ram air effect. So I don't know how much of a difference we would feel, but I don't know if I'll swap that. I say I will, but I probably actually wouldn't buy the .1 and put it in there. But we do get a bit more ram air. Wheels, rear wheels are the same. Again, same idea. The springs are stiffer on the .2 versus the .1. The brakes are the same size. .2, I think, again, wheels are a little lighter, 100 grams or so lighter, but they do, I think the springs are like 40 or 50 Newton meters stiffer. This is a carbon fiber sway bar, which I don't think the .1 has, which I don't know, that doesn't really matter, but I think it's cool. That was one of the things that when I saw Adam LZ's car up on the lift, I wanted it because it had a carbon fiber sway bar, even though you never see it. So then wings are different. Obviously, carbon fiber, part of the Weissach package, which was $18,000 option. The carbon fiber wing versus the fiberglass wing. Notice, I don't know if you can see it on video, but here in person, it's a good, I think it's about 2 inches taller, maybe 1.5 inches taller. So the wing on the .2s is slightly more aggressive than it is in the .1. Unfortunately, both cars have the wart. So we got the XM wart. XM comes with the Bose package, whereas this car, they actually check the option, which is freaking stupid. I don't know why anyone would do that, but I'll probably, I guess, have to wrap the wart black, but it has it. So the biggest driver, and this is the moment, like within the first 100 meters of driving a .2 when I drove Ryan's, and then I drove Chris's .2 GT3, the engine. The engine is different. It's a true Gen 2. I think it's still a 981 variant, so it's still the same base power plant, but it has completely different oiling, so you won't have finger follower wear like you would on a .1. New pistons, new rings, new internals. The car's 20 horsepower different, but the torque curve is considerably different. So the car is just sharper, faster, handles sharper. I know it's such a subtle difference between the two. To make a $75,000 move between the two seems like an idiotic move from most people's perspective. But the .2 is a really different car. We'll talk about the PDK in a minute. And then obviously aesthetically, the taillights are different. They're I guess you can call it angular taillights versus the rounded taillights on the .1. A different rear bumper as well. So the bumper is different on the .2 and .1. To be honest with you, I prefer the look. I prefer the roundedness of the front bumper and rear bumpers. I also prefer the fender vents on the .1. But the .2, I want that motor. I want that engine. If I could take that engine and put it in there, but again, we talk about some of the handling differences considerably better. So let me show you interior-wise what this car has. And some of you are gonna freak out. I hate the yellow because I don't like yellow, but I love green. So this has green stitching, full leather, sport buckets, has several other really neat options on this car. It has light design, which is a waste of money. Has illuminated door sills, that's another option. Has the leather wrapped center steering column, which is a really expensive, useless option, but looks really cool. Also has the center console. Notice the center console has the Porsche insignia and has stitching on it as well. I think that was an option. Carbon fiber is standard in an RS, carbon fiber trim, but no funny business with the exception of white gauges, which everybody does. And the reason I don't like white gauges, if you look at that there, you can see all the stupid indicators. They're just really pronounced, even when they're not on, all the warnings and errors and things like that. But I get over it. I mean, it does match the white car. It has green seat belts. So I know that some of you are freaking out about lizard green seats. There are certain things about each generation, certain colors or quirks or I guess differences about each RS generation. This GT3 RS generation, lizard green was the color. The previous generation was lava orange and ultraviolet. I'm not a lava orange, ultraviolet kind of guy. I like white. But this particular car in white with the option for lizard green in the interior, I don't like the lizard green stripe because we have yellow brakes, so I'll do something about that in the future. I know some people are commenting already. But I think that having this lizard green insert just makes sense. The lizard green seatbelt's just I know it's not very subtle in the interior, but it makes sense for this generation of this car. So I'm actually really excited about it. And I probably would have chickened out on it and gone with gray, but I'm going for it on this one. I don't have a choice because I already own it. So another thing with the .2, the interior has perforated Alcantara, which I like even more than non-perforated. I'm a huge fan of Alcantara. You have to care for it a little bit more than you would, I guess, leather. But I find it to be really durable as long as you take care of it. It doesn't. I don't sweat as much as I do in an all leather seat. I'll get the Crazy Eddie's bolster protectors for this, but this car is clean. Like, it looks brand new. It has 1,300 miles on it. Another thing that this car has that mine doesn't, that I couldn't convince myself to do, if you look, it has the aluminum pedals. I absolutely am in love with aluminum pedals. I've only met a few people that said, it looks tacky. I think they look fantastic, and believe it or not, they're super grippy. Like they're not slippery at all. The aluminum pedal upgrade or to change mine after the fact was I think $1,300, $1,200–$1,300 to do, and I had to remove the gas pedal. I just didn't want to go to that. This car has the smoking package, which basically creates the cover. Both cars, both my .1 and the .2 have the axle lift. The axle lift is different. I forget what it is. I think this one's air, or no, this one's hydraulic. The other one's air on the .1. So let's just give you a little view of the interior in case you haven't seen a video before of my car. I don't know how that's possible, but so here's the interior on mine, which is nice and subtle. Other than the yellow stitching, which I'm not a huge fan of. It's probably hard for you to see, but notice in the back, the GT3 RS and Alcantara, the new cars don't have that. They lose, I think it was like 50 grams or something by doing carpet rather than doing Alcantara. I think they also, in the .2s, they cut out the carpet under the seat to lose another 100 grams or so, where these are fully carpeted under the seat. If you took the seat out, I think there's carpeting missing on the .2. But other than that, the cars are obviously, they're of the same generation, they're the same chassis. So they're similar cars. The front trunks look the same, the rear deck is different. But the cars in general are very similar, but yet, as you can tell, I'm rattling off all these differences. As you might imagine, I've been shopping this stuff for a while. I'm finally opening this up. I forgot my suitcase. But you can see, you can fit a carry-on inside the car pretty easily, and then some. But the fronts of the cars look the same. Unfortunately, the side are different, so I need a guy to get .2 clear side markers. The fronts are the same. The exception, you can see the NACA duct inside that's sealed off the interior. Also, this is a little bit subtly different. It has, for the NACA ducts, there's the vent, which is different than the previous gen car. And then the rear deck is also slightly different. You have dry carbon, I don't know if it's dry carbon, but non-glossy carbon. You also have the click latch, which reduces a little bit of weight versus the hydraulic that mine has. So you can see glossy versus matte. And you can see the byproduct of going catless and a white car. Turns a little bit yellow. Makes it look like Kevlar. And where this one is matte. Slightly different look. Shoot, I'm surprised I rattled all that off. I just looked it up 5 minutes ago. You can tell I've been shopping this for a long time. So, new .2 RS is about to be picked up in about an hour and a half. I own it. I no longer own this. Tony owns it. And I don't know how long this will last, but if you're watching this video, call up Gas Motor Cars in Atlanta here in Marietta. They'll ship it anywhere in the country. As you saw, I mean, we didn't sugarcoat this, I don't think. I think this is how the transactions normally go. I don't think most people walk in on the way to the airport then buy a car, but one that weren't planning to. But I think that Tony would do the same thing: quick, easy transaction, get the car to you in one piece. It's my car, so it's really, really dialed and clean and ready to go. So if you want this car and it's still available, check it out. But I didn't think I was going to get rid of this quickly. It's a little bittersweet. Luckily, it's pretty much the same car. If it didn't have the green stripes, I was thinking about, I called Michelle yesterday, and she says she's getting a dog. But I was thinking about not even telling her. She wouldn't know for a while. I was going to see how long it would take her to figure out it was a different car. But I since I spent a bunch of money, I figured it would probably smart to let her know. So yeah, .2 RS, I'll grab some video when the truck shows up to load it up. I'm excited about, the things I'm most excited about this is the suspension differences. The Visoc is so cool. I think that really makes this particular generation of car special. I think without Visoc, I think the car isn't as special. The PDK in this car, it's insane in that car. But the different tuning that they've done to this, as well as the change in torque curve, makes this car absolutely insane. I'm going to be doing Dundon's Plenum and their street headers and full exhaust, so this car will make 45, 50 wheel horsepower more than it makes now, which will be insane. It'll be 480 at the wheel, something like that. And so this, my buddy Phil and I did a quick little pull, and his is basically stock, and he walked away in a gear and a half from this car. So not that it needs to be faster, but this one certainly is. So anyway, thanks for watching this one. We'll grab some video here. They're loading up on the truck, and I'll see it at home, and we'll obviously get tons and tons of video of me paint correcting, PPF, doing all the normal stuff that I do, radar detector and all that stuff. There aren't many modifications you can do to these cars, but I will be doing something with the green stripe on the wheels. I'll probably be doing some sort of aftermarket wheels on this, and obviously exhaust. So thanks for watching. As always, stay tuned for more crazy.